This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Yo, what's going on? You know what's amazing is people sending me links all day that Christopher Ramirez was found, as if I wouldn't have known already. You know, like even one at 4 o'clock. Hey, great. Did you hear that? You know, of course I have. Checked the community section this morning, you know, and the Facebook page. I mean, I appreciate you guys wanting to keep me updated, but, you know, if you've heard about it, I probably have too, right? I mean, I got like 20 emails after 1 o'clock even, you know? It's like I made a community post and a Facebook post in Grant Hughes Investigates Facebook. So that's a point, that's where you would look and go, oh, okay, yeah, he already knows. Yeah, it was pretty awesome though. Pretty awesome. What's interesting too is if you were watching last night, you remember how we, you know, on the show, working it all out, you know, he lives there, goes east and then south, and then it's like, okay, then that's probably where he went into the woods right here, just like that. And then look at then we drew this whole segment here. He probably didn't go up into here just because he was already heading that way. That's why I didn't continue that up there. This is where the main area would be, and if you look, if you just made it through right there, then you're out in the middle of nowhere. And what's cool about doing this is, I don't want to do one, John. Are you trying to get banned, John, or just an idiot? I don't know. So look at right here is where the where he was found. 5.2 miles as a crow flies on 1486. So all I did was I stretched it from the house down until I got to 5.2, so it's very close to this area right here. But if you look how accurate that was. And hell, they should get a hold of me before they do some searching. I mean, look at that thing. I would have started, you know, on like 2 days ago, go from here inward. You know, because you can kind of like, you know, get like 500 people and then go that way to the outer limit, and then maybe have some people going the other way. But you know, 5 miles for a 3-year-old. See how crazy that is, everybody? 5 miles, a 3-year-old. And what's more amazing is not a coyote or some other animal didn't find him in the wilderness. Really crazy.
This is breaking news from ABC 13 Houston. A reunion 4 days overdue. A 3-year-old boy missing since Wednesday has been found alive and safe. That's according to Tim Miller, the founder and director of Texas EquiSearch and Grimes County Sheriff Don Sowell. Christopher Ramirez, 3 years old, found by a landowner off FM 1486 near Highway 249, according to Miller. Ramirez was reunited with his mother, the image captured by Texas EquiSearch. Ramirez is on his way to Texas Children's Hospital in the Woodlands to be evaluated. Grimes County Sheriff Don Sowell said Ramirez was found dehydrated around 11:45 Saturday morning.
Looks pretty good.
Hundreds of searchers combed the woods of southern Grimes County for the little boy as investigators looked for leads related to his disappearance. The searchers looked in the heavily wooded area virtually nonstop since the little boy was reported missing on Wednesday. An elderly neighbor said that she saw Ramirez following a family dog down a road near his home. That search outside of Plantersville had gone on virtually nonstop, as we said. This is a developing story. We hope to learn more about what had become of Ramirez in the 4 days that he went missing and what's next in this investigation. Stay tuned to ABC 13.
I mean, what was he doing out there? That's crazy. Man, so tiny. Yeah, he's been found alive in the woods 4 days after walking away. Grimes County Sheriff Don Sal said a citizen called authorities after hearing something outside. Crews responded and found Christopher Ramirez in the woods near the 7700 block of FM 1486. 7700 was about right there, so that's near there. And I was just stretching it so it matched the 5.2 that they came up with. Now, Sal said seeing Christopher reunited with his mother is a feeling we will never forget. It was cool watching. Let's see what this says.
You told him all good? Good deal, good deal.
It's only coming out of one side,
I just want, we're
so you're going to have to listen.
They know. They wanted to wake up. They know.
Yeah, y'all have time. Chat it up.
No.
We're happy.
We're trying to get you guys notified.
Well, hold on. I think I might have recorded this. Hold on. I'm going to have to open up Adobe Premiere. Hey, thank you very much, Emily Flotilla. Yeah, way to get the night started.
In celebration, great news.
Yeah, thank you very much. Pretty amazing. Yeah, and we had just sent $500 to Texas EquuSearch the day before, or during the search. I didn't realize I had heard about it, but I hadn't talked about it yet. So let me see if I think I recorded that video. Then I can make the audio better. Hold on. Yeah, right there. There it is. I think. Yeah. Alright, yeah, you can see it's only coming out of one side, and I'll fix that for you guys. All right.
Know you. A little north of the 249 toll road. He was in good shape, good health.
We did confirm it was 5.2 miles.
5.2 miles.
Localized, so.
Okay, y'all all ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody here that's going to be here?
Yep. Okay.
All right. Now, I'm Sheriff Sal again. I just want to report a few minutes ago we found little Christopher about 5-something miles from here, down near 1486, 7700 block of 1486, outside of Magnolia. A little north of the 249 toll road. He was in good shape, good health. He's being checked out now. He's on the way to the hospital, and he's drinking a lot of water. His mom's with him, and Sergeant Smith from my agency has been with her throughout, is with him. So good news. I don't have any details on anything other than about 5 miles away. So somehow he got through the woods and made it out there. I don't know the details, but we're sure happy to tell you folks here, and I want to thank y'all for getting the word out.
Yeah, 5.2 miles.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the media getting the word out, and being patient too, because we didn't have any information to go with. We were hoping for the best, extending prayers to everybody. Y'all help send the word out. These workers out here that have put their heart and soul into it. You couldn't ask for a better bunch of people. All of y'all and them, everybody. So the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, what turns out is that a person that owned property, he just walked up and he saw the kid there. I guess I don't know how it played out, but I think he was outside of the range. That's why I'm thinking, in the future it might be good to do outside in, because you're always going to be, when there's a kid like this, look at how far that they can go. And if you start from where they were out, they keep staying ahead of you, right? So if you can kind of figure out, like, okay, they probably went this way because there's neighborhoods here, and this is the trail of wilderness. Then you have searchers go in from that direction, and then maybe some go out from there elsewhere. Anyways. Oh, now I'm sneezing.
Not a story, it's simply this. He's found, he's safe, he's with his mother, he's alive, he's drinking a lot of water.
Sheriff, one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you describe the mother's first embrace with the son?
Undescribable. Undescribable. It was a happy day.
Sheriff,
Thank y'all. Oops.
Sheriff, can you tell us about the crew that
He's so happy. Look how happy.
Yeah, you're good.
can you tell us about the crew that found him?
Citizen called in, deputies went over there.
A citizen
and
called
then
in. So.
They found him. Medics responded. He's in good shape for the conditions, and he's on the way to the hospital.
When he was found, what was he like? Did he kind of...
A happy 3-year-old.
Right?
A happy 3-year-old, let's put it that way.
Was he still wearing his Mickey Mouse shoes and the lime green shirt that we were told?
He was, I believe so, yeah. I was looking at his face, to be honest with you.
What hospital was he taken to?
I think I believe Texas Children are going to have him taken down there, get him checked over real well.
Was he by himself or somebody?
Yeah, by himself.
Yeah, and it's,
To my knowledge, by himself.
and like you said, we spoke earlier
Yeah.
a couple of days ago. You said you've worked in Rock County for 23 years and you've never seen a case this big or complex. 70 hours, 48
Yeah.
agencies responding. How are you? What's your message to the community about the severity of this case?
Well, I my 53 years of combined law enforcement, I've never seen one this detailed, number one. Number two, hardly any facts to go on. And, we were running on prayers, 4-wheel drive and overdrive, to be honest with you, because we had nothing else. We had nothing else. I think all y'all know that. And so we were just hoping and praying. We had no indication of foul play. I said that from the beginning, but we were looking at that. So we're looking at prayers in case he was alive. And I was thinking about this story I told you the other day, that I saw a story, I think it was last month. I didn't get to read it, but in Australia, a 3-year-old was found after 3 days. I said, how ironic. Hope and pray ours is going to be the same way.
Yeah.
It did. Thank goodness.
He did say that.
Christopher was with his mother. Is his stepfather there as well?
No, Christopher's with his mother in the ambulance. Sergeant Smith, it was with them the whole time. It's with them. She's going to stay with them the duration till they come home.
Can you describe the area Christopher was found in?
It was, what I understand, a wooded area from the extension of this area along maybe a pipeline area. I don't know for sure. Speculate.
Can you tell us any more about the tip that you got? That broke
A citizen called in, hearing something.
What time? Around what time?
Ma'am?
Around what time?
By the time I left here a while ago, 11:15-ish, something like that. About 11:15.
Can you tell us about that phone call that they made with the dispatcher? What they thought?
I haven't heard that yet. All we did was go here to there. Put eyes on the little boy, and that was...
Was the person that called there with him when he was...
Yes, ma'am. What I understand. But when I got there, the little boy was in the hands of the deputies and a couple of paramedics and the mother.
And you said this location is 5.2 miles from here.
Approximately, yeah. We found it near the 7700 block of FM 1486.
Had y'all previously checked that area, or we're going to be getting closer?
That was a pretty good ways from here. We were expanding, as I said, anytime we're going over here, what we've done, we're expanding outward. So it's probably that area we were still going to continue. And thank goodness he was just lost and alive, and he's in good shape.
Sheriff, how do you feel?
I'm good. How do you feel? Very good, I bet. I think all y'all feel good. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all y'all helping out.
Sure.
Any other questions? Or
Just that address, one time, 77.
it's about the 7700 block of FM 1486, 249. We took a left, we went north in that area right there. And he's in good shape. I just want to reiterate, he was smiling and drinking water in good shape. He's with his mother.
He was not dehydrated.
He was drinking a lot of water, but he was good. He's alive, laughing, cutting up, crying. His mom's crying. He's in good shape. Thank y'all again very much. Mr. Miller has he's representative of so many people that have been helping us, so he likes to say a word or two.
You know, when I got here, we was a little bit optimistic, but things didn't seem right. And every time I did an interview and we cleared areas, I said, I know where he's not. But now we can say, we know where he is. In my 21 years with Echo Search, this is only a second time when we had a child like this at base. Today, this morning, Sheriff, honestly, I gave up. I said, you know, it's impossible, but man, God works amazing. I mean, I got goosebumps. He works amazing. So to see him and hear them loud cries, Sheriff, it was just unbelievable. But again, we said we know where he's not. Now we know where he is.
During days, the majority of the cases is weird. You know, to find something alive, and it's just
there's no feelings like this.
Yeah, and that's why we booted that Jay guy off yesterday, because he, oh my God, she didn't have tears. It's all fake, everybody. Well, look at you, clown. It wasn't the way you thought it was it?
Yeah,
Nothing
like
How
that.
does it feel to be a part of, this happy ending?
You know, just a small part. Everybody worked so hard on this thing, and the emotions last night and this morning, like, is it even worth it now? And sure was.
Y'all have a good day.
Just look how happy he is. He's just. I always like listening to Tim Miller.
Mr. Miller has he's representative of so many people that have been helping us, so he likes to say a word or two.
You know, when I got here, we was a little bit optimistic, but things didn't seem right. And every time I did an interview and we cleared areas, I said, I know where he's not. But now we can say, we know where he is. In my 21 years with Echo Search, this is only a second time when we had a child like this at base. Today, this morning, Sheriff, honestly, I gave up. I said, you know, it's impossible, but man, God works amazing. I mean, I got goosebumps. He works amazing. So to see him and hear them loud cries, Sheriff, it was just unbelievable. But again, we said we know where he's not. Now we know where he is.
During days, the majority of the cases is weird. You know, to find something alive, and it's just
there's no feelings like this.
Nothing like that. How does it feel to be a part of, this happy ending?
You know, just a small part. Everybody worked so hard on this thing, and the emotions last night and this morning, like, is it even worth it now? And sure was.
Y'all have a good day. Y'all rest up too. Y'all need to rest up too.
Yeah, he's giddy. Yeah, he's just absolutely pumped. So. Now somebody sent me a video on the guy who rescued or came upon Christopher. So let me try to get that one loaded up in here. And yes, everybody, this channel is monetized. We're trying to, help support my channel so I can keep doing my shows every single night of the week. And the charities that we do. We've already donated $34,000 this year and $22,000 last year, and that's from the income from the channel. All right. So we always gotta keep maintaining a certain level every single day of each month. And that's how it works. I don't really know how else to explain it, but we make a difference no matter what. That's the cool part. There isn't like, you put missing persons pictures up all day long, and maybe maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't, but we're helping regardless. All right, let's see. I've got to go get the... Oh, hey, thanks, IB Me and Maureen Co, the tacos. Okay, there we go. I'm just loading up this other video here. Hold on. Alright, so apparently this is the person who found. This is from, hold on. I'll put the link in the description. It's from KPRC 2 Click 2 Houston. I'll put that in there. There we go. And now I'm going to play it.
There were a number of people talking about this little boy who's been lost, and it was news to me. This is the first I'd heard of it. But I'm not paying attention to news, anything. And so I was prompted then by the Spirit to say, you will go look for that boy. You will search the woods. And so I said, okay.
Donations from the freaks make
you.
a difference.
Yeah.
I love the happy ending to this story.
That's
God
crazy.
is good. 2 hearts.
I was like, did you have 6 toes there?
And so our group at the end, we always do
Polydactylism?
a lot of prayer times. We were praying for him.
Thank you, JC.
And now it's 2 days. Today makes the 3rd day. And so I got up this morning, did my Bible study, devotional time, prayer time, like I try to do every day. And my wife came in and said, what are you going to do today? I said, well, I'm going to go out in the woods and see if I can find that boy. And I did.
How long were you out there looking for him?
I left here at 9:45, and I found him at 11:30. And he was only like 3/4 of a mile up the pipeline here. I kind of went off on some different rabbit
So
trails.
he was along the pipeline then?
Yeah, just right, probably 10 yards into the woods, the thicket.
Did you hear him or?
Well, I was walking up the pipeline, and I heard a noise. But it sounded like maybe it could be an animal in distress.
Is that what this is?
Sometimes deer will do that. They'll kind of make noises like you think it's maybe a human.
Right,
so I'm walking a little bit further, and I'm really listening hard. I'm wanting to hear a child, right?
There we go.
And so then I hear what sounds like a human child in distress. But I couldn't understand the words.
I couldn't see that.
As it turns out, he only speaks Spanish. And I couldn't understand what he might have been saying. But every time I heard, I yelled out, hello, hello. Didn't get a response. So I'm thinking, this is weird. And so as soon as I heard it the second time, I'm calling Grimes County to let them know, hey, send somebody out here. I've heard this sound twice. And so I think he could be here. And they came out, and I told them where to go looking. And they started looking. Like I said, I think I heard the noise up the pipeline a little further, off to the right. And they were doing their thing, and they're yelling for Christopher. Christopher! And now I know his name. And so as I'm walking back down the pipeline to come back home, and I hear the noise. I stop, and then I said, Christopher! And this time I got a response. Prior to that, I never got a response when I yelled out, but I called his name. and he responded. And he kept talking, and I just went through the thicket of the woods, and I found him and picked him up, and he was totally naked, no shoes, no clothing, nothing. He might have had a few scratches, but I didn't check him out to see. But he was unscathed. Been out of the woods for 3 days without food or water.
So he was totally naked, no food or clothing, So that means that question that person asked about. And the sheriff said, well, I just looked at his face, but maybe they had already put a shirt on him and stuff. I don't know.
Picked him up. He wasn't shaking. He wasn't nervous. He was calm. And there had been a lot of people out of this community praying for that little boy. Many had given up hope. And the story is don't give up hope.
That's right.
And God's still in the miracle business. He's still answering prayer.
Yep. Definitely is.
Yep.
How far is it from here where you found him at?
Probably 3/4 of a mile.
Pretty good walk back into there?
Yeah, it's up the pipeline. There's not. It's a cleared pipeline.
Oh, it's cleared pipeline? Okay.
Yeah.
To be able to get that message and you walk out holding him. What does that mean for you?
That's actually a road.
Oh,
right?
What it tells me is when God prompts you to do something, you have to do it. And there wasn't any doubt in my mind. God has prompted me a few times in my life, and there was no doubt He wanted me to do something. For what reason, I didn't know. But today it's just to being obedient and open and letting Him do what He. Sometimes in the busyness of life, we can shut Him out when He might want us to do something.
Mm-hmm.
How has this experience emotionally moved you? I see your eyes are a little glazing.
It's been a little crazy.
The pipeline somewhere else.
It's I haven't been as invested in this whole story like so many other people have been. They've been praying for days, and for me it was news last night to me, and I just confirms what I already know that God has a plan. And He can use any of us if we're willing to submit to that plan.
See, it's actually, I think they're building a highway through there. And that's from January this year. So I don't know where the pipeline, I don't think that's a pipeline, it's a freeway, So I don't know. Is it that thing? Maybe that's the pipeline? And then, yeah, right there maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's around in that area somewhere though. It's on it was the 7700 block of. The person who sent it to me said, "Oh, something doesn't add up." I don't know. It adds up to me. The part that's a little weird is that he was nude. I mean, I'd like to hear some of this again. Let's see.
And then I said, "Christopher!" And this time I got a response. Prior to that, I never got a response when I yelled out, but I called his name, and he responded. And he kept talking, and I just went through the thicket of the woods, and I found him and picked him up, and he was totally naked, no shoes, no clothing, nothing. He might have had a few scratches, but I
maybe going through all those thickets, he maybe got stuck on some. And, who knows? What's weird about him? He doesn't seem like he has any scratches or anything on it.
And this time I got a response. Prior to that, I never got a response when I yelled out, but I called his name, and he responded. And he kept talking, and I just went through the thicket of the woods, and I found him and picked him up, and he was totally naked, no shoes, no clothing, nothing. He might have had a few scratches, but I didn't check him out to see. But he was unscathed. Been out of the woods for 3 days without food or water. Picked him up. He wasn't shaking. He wasn't nervous. He was calm. And there had been a lot of people out of this community praying for that little boy. Many had given up hope. And the story is don't give up hope.
That's right.
And God's still in the miracle business. He's still answering prayer.
Thank you, Kathy Friday.
Yep, definitely is. Definitely is.
Yep.
How far is it from here where you found him at?
Probably 3/4 of a mile.
I'm not suspicious of this person at all. But, maybe, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the kid says. If there was any sort of anything else going on. He's 3. He can speak and talk about what he did. I think it's just going to be, it's 3 days out there. What's really interesting is where did he sleep and stuff, Like, that's the part that just always is so weird. Like, he's like 2 miles away from the house the first night, or a mile and a half, and he just sort of curls up under a bush somewhere and goes to sleep, and then you get up and start moving around the next day, and then you do the same thing the next day. I don't know. I don't know why that face mask thing, that doesn't even work anymore. I don't know. That'd be pretty difficult for a kid not to sleep, a 3-year-old not to sleep for 3 days like that. I think he slept. Yeah. Well, I guess he could have just taken his clothes off and walked around. I mean, it's unbelievable. I think it's just going to be that he wandered around and there was no other interference at all, and his clothes are out there somewhere. They might even go try to find his clothes just to sort of get a more accurate route of the way he went. But I think it's going to be very, very close to what we mapped out yesterday. I think it's going to be where... Well, what's weird, though, isn't this a road now, though? Or are they not finished with that yet? Let me take a look at something. I don't even know what the street view is on this. The date. I don't think there's anything there during... Yeah, it's just sort of a... See, the satellite image is January 2020. I would imagine that road would most likely be done, so he would have had to kind of like slip through, right through here almost. If that's a highway now. Yes, that's January 2021, and this is all built in. So it was more like right inside of this area. I guess. I don't know. He said he might have had a few scratches. Yeah, that would be just amazing that he's not just scratched up all around. Although he's really little, so he could just get through the same spots that an adult couldn't, but... I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Once they've interviewed the kid, the mom asked him some questions. And, I mean, when you see that picture of him, for a second. Yeah, I think he's kind of, that's how he is right there, too. He doesn't have a shirt on.
It's a joyous end to the search for 3-year-old Christopher Ramirez. Authorities reporting Saturday afternoon.
This is breaking news from ABC 13 Houston. A reunion 4 days overdue. A 3-year-old boy missing since Wednesday has been found alive and safe. That's according to Tim Miller, the founder and director of Texas EquiSearch, and Grimes County Sheriff Don Sa.
I think Miller took this photo right here. Well, good news. I guess we'll have to hear later about how the story went down, but the only part that sounds a little bit weird maybe is that he was completely undressed, but you know, kids do weird shit, you know. They don't think through stuff. So it's awesome. All right. Well, what else we got? Oh yeah, here was a crazy story that happened. Did you guys see this one? It was somebody had shot one person, had somebody held hostage, and then the SWAT team came in.
He's got a gun to someone's head.
It's right over here.
Look, look. Or a knife.
He must have been hit with something. Somebody was holding somebody hostage. I just explained it to you. That's probably a flashbang right there. Maybe. And the SWAT team came in. That's SWAT right there. And good night. Yeah, wow. Why did he shoot so much?
Evil can never be dead enough.
There you go. So the video shows a man in a white t-shirt appearing to point a gun and blah, 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 blah. Look how many individual photos. There's a whole bunch of... Yeah. Anyways, it was just somebody that was held people hostage, and SWAT team broke in and killed him. You know. How about this, everybody? Don't hold people hostage. Do what the police tell you to do. Hey, guess what? You won't be shot. It's amazing. You shoot as we are going to shoot back. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah. Now remember the story the other day? I love law enforcement's response here. Remember I told you about the rumor and I said take it with a bucket of salt because it's probably not true. Hey, welcome, Millie D, as in Melody. Yeah, Missouri law enforcement confronts online.
Hi, I'm Jim Clark, Director of Quantum Computing at Intel. In the video today, we'll review the basics of quantum mechanics, which form the basis of making a quantum computer. And this is Architecture All Access Quantum.
Oh, that was somewhere else. So, the Dallas County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, I'm Jim Clark,
Is it going to do it again?
Director of Quantum Computing at Intel.
Okay. Must have had it open twice. Cassidy Rainwater. Remember the one where the cabin burnt down? There's a cage in the cabin, apparently. So it says Cassidy Rainwater, 33, has been missing since July 25th. And while the sheriff's office has arrested 2 suspects in the case of her disappearance, authorities are trying to put an end to an online rumor mill regarding Rainwater's whereabouts. There's a lot of misinformation and rumors regarding the Cassidy Rainwater case being circulated across social media and various news platforms. Dallas County Sheriff Scott Rice said in a Thursday statement posted to Facebook, While I understand the impatience and curiosity of people, that's exactly what you see in all these cases. The same rodeo clowns who sit outside a house with a bullhorn and yell. And the idiots that get information that they weren't entitled to have by basically coercion. You know, some of these people should sue those people that were outside the house. Dallas County Sheriff Scott Rice said in a Thursday statement posted to Facebook, "While I understand the impatience and curiosity of the people, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. It's not a good idea to listen to a crime reporter, blogger, or TikTok videos that is sitting in their apartment or their mommy and daddy's basement," doesn't say drooling though, "eating great value cheese puffs and drinking box wine with grand intentions of being a social media superstar." Oh, God. God, that's exactly what's going on in the Brian Laundrie case right now. Just so many of these idiots came out of nowhere just to start a channel coming up with the most ludicrous shit, like a hand reaching out of the garden. So let's just read that again. That's one of the best sentences I've ever seen there. "While I understand the impatience and curiosity of the people, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. It's not a good idea to listen to a crime reporter, blogger, or TikTok whack job videos that is sitting in their apartment or their mommy and daddy's basement eating great value cheese puffs and drinking box wine with grand intentions of being a social media superstar." Yeah, Rice continued, "If you're hanging on every word in this type of crap, believing it to be fact..." Man, who does this guy sound like to you? Come on, just go ahead. This guy talking right now, who does he sound like? Yeah, that's right, Regina. I mean, this guy, I don't know, man. He's like, he just became a hero. I don't even know his name, but oh, God. Let's see. Sitting in their mommy and daddy's basement eating great value. That's an actual, knockoff brand. Sitting in their, basement eating great value cheese puffs and drinking box wine with grand intentions of being a social media superstar. If you're hanging on every word in this type of crap, believing it to be fact, you're living in a fantasy world. This isn't a TV series or movie where we go to commercial break and have lab results in 15 minutes. Searching a crime scene for 7 days, 24 hours a day takes a long time. 168 hours. 99.99999% of what has been posted to social media is crap. There you go. God. Man, I love that. I wish if that was audio, I would play that at the beginning of every show. Unbelievable. Anyways, that made me happy. Gatorade and whiskey. Yeah. So I did let you guys know what the rumor was, but I told you to, what I'm telling you is to take it with a bucket of salt, because that was the prevailing, people were saying it all over the place, okay? So I guess even by doing that, I spread it a little bit, but hopefully you guys listen when I tell you it has almost no chance of being factual information, thus the bucket of salt on that one. Yeah, I need to get the Tim Miller one for sure. Alright, so that's it for the updates. Yeah, okay. And then I thought I'd go over this missing persons case from 1975 that almost has absolutely no information again. Oh, why couldn't you open that one? Weird. How about that one? Okay, I'm gonna have to go find that one again. Hold on a second. I know where it is. Ugh. What year was that? 1975. Oops. Yeah, there's only gonna be one. It's gonna take a minute here because one of the documents that I downloaded didn't work right, so I did find it again. So, how's everybody doing? God, I almost have to have that as a, I don't know, have somebody, maybe I'll just read it and have that be an audio clip somewhere. Yeah, so why is it saying that again for that? Okay, I'm gonna get the, there's one more copy of the same. Yeah, let me try this one. Yeah, if you're tired, how do you think I feel? Oh, by the way, I spent most of the day today getting the Ed Kemper stuff together. That guy, that is one just monster, you know? Unbelievable. He's probably he's probably the worst of the worst. Even though he didn't have a huge number of, you know, the serial killer type killings. You know, he's just really sick person. So I definitely, before the show tomorrow, you know, I'm gonna say if you're squeamish or some weird, you know, you probably shouldn't watch it. It's really whacked out. Yeah, I know it is Discerning Light. That's why I'm covering it. Hold on a second. Chloe, like, it's so funny because Chloe pooped and then peed back in this exercise room that we got. And, you know, as soon as Chris came home, she looked all nervous, like, here we go. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, he's weird because he's so normal too, you know. Ed Kemper, he kind of reminds you a little bit of Dahmer, how he talks, just kind of, you know, matter of fact. Oh yeah, hey, you know. Why are you hiding back here, Blue? You weren't the one, right? Come on, Blue. Yeah, he had like 160 IQ. Yeah, it's way up there. Right, but we're going to go over it tomorrow, so we don't need to have everybody go, ooh, look how much I know already, Gray. And by the way, if you know it already, you probably shouldn't even watch it, you know? You should just do something else, you know, because you'll be one of the people that need to type something in right during it, you know? Right, everybody and see, and Lee D, what you're saying is, look, I know all about it, Gray, so I got to hit the zip it button. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going to do it the way I do it. I'm going to go through the newspaper articles of each one of them, that kind of thing. Huh? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm confused. Good. Let's see. Yeah, I just want to go over it, you know, because I don't know if I was aware of, you know, some of the stuff he was doing. And then there's a whole bunch of there's interviews out there too. Oh, look at that. Lee D's already sent me to jail. Can you believe it? Oh, well, I guess we can't move on to the next part of the show. Oh, sorry to hear about that, Cindy. But why are you saying sorry to me, though? I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, we were just saying that, Dana Dane. Did you miss that part, or? Yeah, we'll be going over it tomorrow. You know, 6'9", 280 pounds, big guy. Yeah. Oh, Jessica Schubach gave me no bail. Okay, now there's $5 bail. Kimberly Hennessy. Oh wait, meanie no bail. Wait, hold on. Where are we at now then? So there's 25 no bail and 15 bail. So I'm still -10. Thanks though. Yeah, Lee D. She had the zipped mouth. Okay, now we're minus what?
No bail.
10, right? All right.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Bail.
This channel is going to be my sanity next week when I have my, I don't know what that means. Lobotomy? Hey, thanks again, Emily Flotilla. Now we're at -6. Man, you guys are mean. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Meaning no bail.
Bail money, honey. There we go. Okay, now that's enough. I got out. Sweet. Yeah, a little cab ride. Nice little hotel. Oh, there we go. 3-in-1. Wait a minute. Okay, so I was just out 10, 15, 5. Now it's -5. Well, now we're even again. And then the Kathy Friedenmakers made it an extra $2. Anyways, thank you guys. Rhea Mazaron, Nicole
buns.
Wilson, Kathy Friedenmaker, Jen B, Mad Phoenix, Emily Flotilla, Michelle Nicholas, Lee D, Kimberly Hennessy, and Jen B and Jessica Schubach during the
smiley face.
So I think I made it out the door with $1.99.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want.
That's pretty good.
Bail money, honey. Dollar Bill's face.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Definitely no bail.
Okay, there we go. That one worked that time.
Gray, someone told me I was so mean yesterday, lol.
Really? So yeah, when people go, God, you're so mean. Now all you think of is
So mean, Jane.
right? Anyways, thank you guys. Yeah, you think so, Cindy? Yeah. I think you're a troll. That's what I think. I think you're full of crap. That's what I think. Well, she's a poser coming in here going, sorry, Gray. You know, all this whole drama shit. So you go do something else, all right? Bye-bye. I don't buy it. I could tell by the way that went. Yeah, well, I do have a Chewbacca mask up here. I don't remember who had me buy that thing. Who was that? No, I think Jennifer Rochelle had me buy a Chewbacca mask, I think. Back, I don't remember who had me buy that. It was a long time ago. Yeah. Is that where you're going to be? I don't know. For Halloween, I might just be... I have this green body outfit, and then all it would show is my face, but I have to go get... And then I'll be using my green screen again. Yeah, I don't think it was you. No, I think I knew it was. I know it was. It was somebody that's not here anymore. I just remembered. Oh, maybe. Okay, but you would that is that a good time to make a joke right after you say that you're I'll unhide her just to see. You know, you say that your brother died, and then you're making jokes on a channel. That's kind of weird. So I'll give her another shot just in case I was wrong. I can see what you're saying there, Stephen Kellogg. You know, the whole. Yeah, how everybody calls everybody narcissists all the time. Maybe that was just one of her jokes. I don't know. See, I'm reasonable, right? Yeah, I mean, you say, hey, my brother died. Hey, Gray, you're a narcissist, LOL. Like, that's just ridiculous almost. Who's even thinking about a joke like that when you're having somebody die in your family? It's just bizarre. Like, hey, thanks, Kit Kat. You sense that there was a wave. You wonder what does that mean, Allie? I don't even know what that means.
I sensed there was a wave. LOL, crystal ball, surfer.
LOL, crystal ball, surfer. Last year and then the new COVID variant. Yeah. That's where the vaccines help out. And yes, it doesn't protect you fully. I mean, some people don't catch it because they're vaccinated, but there's a percentage who do catch it. But then once you catch the virus, the antibodies that you have from the vaccine help fight the infection in you, or the virus in you, dramatically. Okay, so that's why it's important to get it, even if but if you've already got COVID before, then you probably have antibodies as well, so you might not necessarily. Some people say it's even better immunity. It's more wide-ranging if you've caught it and recovered from it. So Awesome, Steven. Excellent. Are you guys ready so we can get on to the stories here, though? Is that cool? You know, like all of us narcissists do, we like to, you know, just get on with the stories that the show was about. I know that's mean, but... Hey, Jen H, thank you. And Emily Flotilla. How's it going, Jen H? That's what an immune system is for. No. Yeah. Now, if you get COVID, you know, people always say, "Oh, my immune system's great. I don't need to be vaccinated." Oh, I have a great immune.
Adding to the
bullshit.
grey wave,
Okay,
ocean
bullshit.
wave.
It doesn't do shit for you. You know, you have an immune system, and you're still gonna catch it. Even if you think it's great, I can't count how many people have said
ocean
that.
Wave.
Thanks, Brady Bradford. Now once you've caught it and your immune system kicks in, like Dana Dane just said, then you're gonna build antibodies and so forth. However, it's much more dangerous to catch COVID without already having the antibodies. That's the thing. It's like that's what the monoclonal antibodies are for too. Is people? It's like getting vaccinated after the fact. Yeah, so if you've already had it, then you recovered from it, then maybe that's, you know, maybe you don't need to get vaccinated, but, you know, there might be somebody requiring it at some point. I don't know. Yeah, well, you might have died without the vaccine, Kara, so thank God he had the vaccine. Yeah. I mean, people just seem so uneducated on this stuff still. It's just making me angry, you know? It's like, it sucks. It's like, come on, everybody. Yeah, you don't want to catch it without having, you know, there's some people who had, it just didn't, their immune system was able to, just didn't bother them. But it's not, it's a very deadly, you know, percentage-wise. 1%. How many of you would take a revolver and let's say it's let's just say it's 0.5. Is there anybody out there that would take a gun with 200 bullets in it? Or 200 chambers but one bullet? Would you take a risk at spinning that and shooting yourself in the head? Even at that rate? No way, man. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so, come on, you guys. Now, if you got it, and you really want to be like this super immune person, then get vaccinated too, man, you'll be like a freaking armor. Right. Yeah, 700,000 Americans have died from it. Most of them older people. But, you know, there's been a lot of people that aren't older people die as well. Yep, I'd like to get my third one, but I don't fit into the categories. I don't have a extra, you know, like something else going wrong. Are you okay, Cindy? Are you alright? Are you alright, Cindy? You seem like you just came in here to troll tonight. Is that what you're doing, or? Let's see. Did I report on the little boy that was found today? Have you ever been to this channel before, or is this the first time just showing up? Yeah, we covered it for the entire show last night for 3 hours. And then today on this show, we covered it for the first 30 minutes of the show. So, yes, I have covered it. This is crazy, man. Oh, man. Yeah, but that means I did a whole show on it yesterday. Now, Cindy, I could tell by when you came in here that I didn't even trust that what you were saying was true, okay? And the reason was because the way the sentence was structured. You said, sorry, everybody. Sorry, but my brother died today, okay? I didn't trust what you said, okay? And then you turned out to be an absolute whack job.
Late fee, high freaks.
Yeah, she was phony to begin with. That was obvious. Oh yeah, she'll make sure that it's not in there. Thank you, living it, as in living the dream, and Brandy Bradford. And Kit Kat. Late fee. You have to, there's no late fee. Yeah. Well, thanks, Jen H. I think I'm a, you know, I mean, I don't like to talk about myself like that, but I don't think I'm ungenerous or mean or anything like that. Oh, I can be so mean at times, but yeah, I don't know, Brooke. We were just talking about your thing that you kept talking about, so now we're going to move on to the actual topic. All right, here we go. So the first one is Beverly Jean Ribley. This is a missing person still. Yeah, was Bundy ever down in California during any of his time? I mean, I didn't see any cases that we went over, but you know, this is right during that time, 1975. It's actually April 1975. A search for a 29-year-old Spring Valley woman has been started by the Sheriff's Department after she was reported missing under mysterious circumstances April 27th. Mrs. Beverly Jean Ribley, a beautician for the past 9 years at the May Company in Mission Valley and part of a part-time employee at San Diego Stadium, was reported missing by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Chester Holman of 4608 Tony Lane, San Diego. Hey, look at Kelly's been there for 23 months. MUNTS. Thank you. We have no evidence of foul play and would normally consider this one of the common cases where an adult simply wants to run away for a while. Homicide investigator Bill Sullivan said, but after talking to her friends and relatives, this disappearance seems completely out of character for her. Her fellow workers told investigators she was conscientious about calling in if she was going to be late or absent. This, plus the fact her car was discovered in her driveway and her cats were left alone, lead investigators to believe she may have met with foul play. Sullivan said Mrs. Ribley, a divorcee, is about 5'1" with brown hair and green eyes. This is in the San Diego area. Yeah, way over here. Oops. Did that Google Earth just shut down on me? I think so. Well, there it is. Guess not. Oh, that one needs to be moved up. Goes underneath. No, that was No, that's the other one for tonight. Never mind. And then there's another one. Let me turn down this music. It's too loud. The San Diego Union incorrectly reported Wednesday that the parents of Mrs. Beverly Jean Ribley reported her as missing to the sheriff's office. Instead, it was Mrs. Ribley's husband, James R. Ribley, who reported the 29-year-old woman as missing from her home in Spring Valley. The San Diego Union also incorrectly reported that Miss Ribley was a divorcee, when in fact, see, we just read those things, right? When in fact, she was separated from her husband. So more like estranged, right? The missing person report was turned in on April 29th to Sheriff Investigator Bill Sullivan. The Sheriff's Office said yesterday that the search for Mrs. Ribley, a beautician, is continuing. Now this is her right here. Now, there was a surprising number of articles about her, but none of them are really long or anything. That's weird. So that's her. And this one just says Sheriff Homicide Unit is reopening a long-standing cold case, asking if anyone can help find a woman who had been missing for more than 40 years. And it's Beverly. I'm going to make a folder just in case. And we have the address, around close to address, 2400 block of Trace Road. So she went missing from her home, so this is be interesting to figure this out. 2400 Trace Road, Spring Valley, California, right there. Okay, so she lived right, that's 2400, so where's 2500? Okay, so it's in this block right here. We don't know at this point which one it was, but classic California neighborhood. That's what it looks like. And let's see. When she disappeared under mysterious circumstances, officials say at the time Ribley was 29 years old, 5'1" and 100 pounds. So really little. She had long brown hair and green eyes. If you have any information about her disappearance, call the homicide detail. I don't know, she kind of looks like maybe, this picture on the right would be a Bundy type, dark hair and everything. But, I don't know, it's kind of far away from where he was. Let me go look at something up here on Bundy. What's weird, what's kind of strange, see this Doug and Carol Bundy right here? They practice some of the same stuff that Ed Kemper did. And I just thought that was weird that they had the last name of Bundy and they were serial killers. Let's see, when was the Colorado? See, 75, April 6th, and then April 15th, and then May 2nd, April 15th again. I mean, this is all the Melanie Cooley one. April 15th, and this is April 29th, 1975. Isn't that crazy? God, makes you wonder. Maybe he has a whole string in California that he never talked about. I'm just going through the little information that there is. This is another one. 4/27, 1975. 2400 Trace Road. So maybe that's even... didn't land on an address. Beverly Jean Ribley disappeared under mysterious circumstances in April 1975. There was no evidence of foul play, but after talking to Miss Ribley's friends and relatives, this disappearance seems completely out of character for her. Miss Ribley's last contact with anyone was April 27, 1975, at 10:30 p.m. At that time, Miss Ribley was at her residence in the 2400 block of Trace Road. At the time of her disappearance, Beverly Ripley was 29, 5'1", 100 pounds, long brown hair, and green eyes. Oh, is she still in here struggling? Yeah, I'm gonna be blocking her in a few minutes if she keeps doing the same shit. Okay, it's nuts. I was saying there's another person named Carol Bundy. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I just said what it was. There was another person with the last name of Bundy. A couple, they were serial killers. They dismembered their victims, and she would sort of put lipstick on a head and give it to her husband for a reason. Okay, just this time she's just gone. Don't unhide that idiot. She wasn't goofing around originally. Sorry for being interfered with by Cindy in there. She's an embarrassment. So won't be allowed back though. So good luck out there. Do your trolling elsewhere. I'm sure someone else will appreciate it and think it's really funny, but doesn't really work here. All right. What else? The Charlie Project has something on her. Spring Valley, California, endangered and missing. Ribley was last seen at her home, 2400 block. I mean, basically it's exactly the same wording. I mean, it's crazy how even after all this time, they really haven't developed any extra information. This one might be a little bit more. These are all these links are in the description. So this one looks like, let's just go through this one. Beverly Jean Ribley, age 29, went missing from Spring Valley, California. Beverly was last heard from by a friend who spoke to her on the phone at approximately 10:30 on April 27th. No one has seen or been in contact with her since. It's believed that a nightgown of her and her purse were missing from her home. Oh, there we go. Now we've got the actual address. 2439. That's good. Let's see. 2439. Boom. Yeah, and see, that's makes you a little bit nervous. That means it was at night. She was on the phone at 10:30, right? Or maybe it was the night before, I don't remember, but that's the home right there. No one had seen or been in contact with her since. So 10:30 on April 27th. Right, okay, so she was on a phone at 10:30, so she's probably... I don't think the estranged husband has anything to do with it. This sounds different because it doesn't sound like there's any kids, and that's usually when you know, it would matter, or if there was a life insurance or something. But 10:30 at night, she's talking to a friend. She probably already had her nightgown on, and no one has seen or been in contact with her since. It's believed that a nightgown and her purse were missing. Interesting that the purse is missing from her home at 2439 Trace Road, though her other belongings, including her car and her cats, were left behind. Bloodstains were found on the carpet, oh boy, which led police to suspect foul play. You think? Beverly was separated from her husband, Jim Ribley, at the time of her disappearance, but they were still legally married, you know, so, you know, I mean, definitely that's somebody you think of, always, is the estranged husbands or any people like that. I don't know. It seems like they would have, that would be the first person they would have looked at, and maybe, let's see what it says here. As they were good friends. Okay, a neighbor became concerned when she had not seen Beverly, as they were good friends. Let me get back up to this part though. Beverly was separated from her husband, Jim Ribley, at the time of her disappearance, but they were still legally married. She lived alone and was dating a man named Roger Atsit. Ooh, well, that's not good if you're still married and then you're dating somebody, who had reportedly forced his way into her home on a prior occasion, although Beverly was not home at the time. Well, that's interesting. I have to look this guy up. Hold on. That doesn't look like a very common name either, so. Yeah, it just got a little bit more interesting in this. This is somebody else was able to put together this information. Whereabouts still unknown. Alright, so I think he's 80 years old. That makes sense. This guy that I'm looking at right here. 74, yeah. Makes sense. Alright. And then you've got addresses back. Well, this is an address that he has from, wow, amazingly, 1974, and it's in the same town. So this, oh wow, he lives right here. I mean, he doesn't live far away at all from her house. Look at that. That was his, that's where he lived in 1974. Can you believe that? Wow. Just right there in the same neighborhood right there. And then where did he go after that? That's pretty amazing that Ben Verified had a 1974 address in there. And then he also lived here at one point, which is very close to that. Should be right in the same little, well, not quite right there, but over here at a different date. Doesn't have the date of that one. Interesting. I'm sure that's the one. And Doesn't look like he has any criminal record at all. Interesting. Thanks, Diamond Painting with Anxiety. Let's see what that house looked like. Alright, so Beverly was separated from her husband, Jim Ribley, at the time of her disappearance, but they were still legally married. She lived alone and was dating a man named Roger Atzett, who had reportedly forced his way into her home on a prior occasion, although Beverly was not home at the time. A neighbor became concerned when she had not seen Beverly, as they were good friends and Beverly would usually tell her if she was going to be away. The neighbor stated that she had visited Beverly on the day of her disappearance and that Beverly had done the woman's hair, so I guess she did her hair. She said Beverly had been in good spirits and nothing seemed amiss. Beverly worked as a beautician for the May Company in Spring Valley and also worked part-time at the concession stand at San Diego Stadium. Beverly was declared legally dead by her husband in 1987 so that he could sell the home they jointly owned. And that, that's something you would have done, right? And that was what year? 87. That means he waited 12 years or so. A lot of years. Beverly was a graduate of, and that, that makes him seem less guilty to wait that long. Beverly was a graduate of Mount Miguel High School in Spring Valley, California. Hey, let me ask you guys something. Can you ever believe that this hairstyle was popular? I mean, if your cat jumped in your hair like that, it would get lost, right? That is just so huge. That's funny, though. I think my mom had hair like that once, but hers was more like that, I guess. All right, let's see what these say. Sheriff deputies are looking for 29-year-old beautician. Beverly Jean Ribley of Spring Valley was last seen April 27th. Okay, and this one, deputies hit impasse in Hunt. Sheriff deputies investigating the disappearance of Beverly Ribley, 29 of 2439 Trace Road, have reached an impasse. Miss Ribley, a beautician at the May Company in Mission Valley in San Diego and a concession stand worker at San Diego Stadium, was reported missing April 27th by her parents, which that wasn't true, though. Deputies began investigating her absence April 29th when concluded Miss Ribley's disappearance was completely out of character. Fellow workers told deputies that the woman was conscientious about calling in if she would be late or absent, but she never came to work April 28th, and no one at the business heard from her. Bill Sullivan, a homicide investigator, said he learned she never went anywhere without her car and that she loved her 2 cats. But the car was parked in the driveway of her house, and detectives found her cats alone. Deputies have no evidence of foul play. Well, what about the blood on the floor? Miss Ribley is a petite woman, 5'1", and weighs 100 pounds. She is still missing, or she's still small enough to wear the clothes she wore in the 6th grade. Jeez, that's wild. She added that she is an attractive woman with long, dark brown hair, green eyes, and fair complexion. That's her. Description: clothing, jewelry, and more in multicolored nightgown, carrying a brown leather purse with a shoulder strap. She has birthmarks, tattoos, Caucasian female, brown hair, green eyes. Ribley may use the last name Holman. She has a very petite build and can wear clothing in children's sizes. Information on the case from local sources may or may not be correct. Ribley was last seen at her home. We already got the address there. 2438, I think it was. Block of the, I'm not sure. That doesn't look right there. She spoke to a friend on the phone that evening, and this is the last time anyone heard from her. When the police checked her home, her car was parked in the driveway, and her cats were home alone. Only her nightgown and purse were missing. There were blood stains on the carpet, indicating possible foul play. At the time of her disappearance, Ribley worked as a beautician in the Mission Valley area of San Diego. As a concession stand worker at the San Diego Stadium, she was separated from her husband and dating another man. Her boyfriend had reportedly broken into her house on a prior occasion. Ribley wasn't at home at the time. It's uncharacteristic of Ribley to leave without warning. Her husband had her declared legally dead in 1987, so he could sell their house, which was in both of their names. Her case remains unsolved. A missing person is a person who is... let's see. No, it's just a general statement there. So that's all I have on that one. Isn't that crazy? There's almost no information. I mean, it's interesting that you had the ex-boyfriend, Roger, tried to break into her house one time, or did, and she wasn't home that time. And, I wonder if he just kept worrying that she was going to get back together with her husband and was really jealous type. I don't know. It just doesn't make... That's just such a weird one. She's in her house, in her nightgown, just talked to her friend, everything sounded normal, and then she disappears. Somebody abducted her right out of the house after attacking her. Probably got into the house and killed her in the house, I think. And then quietly, probably strangled her, and then quietly put her into a vehicle and took her somewhere. I don't think she left on her own. What do you guys think? Well, they probably just know that she's missing her nightgown. Right? Like, she has a nightgown and it's gone. Now, what's interesting is who's the person that said, well, her nightgown's missing? Was it the boyfriend who said that, or was it the husband? Yeah, maybe the husband. But maybe the boyfriend too, right? So the answer to that question might be an interesting, maybe lead you somewhere. Who's the one that knew about the nightgown? Would her husband even really be thinking of that? It seems like, I don't know. It's just crazy. And then you're right up against this mountain range here, too. Just take that road, boom, you're up here. Up in there, quickly. Yeah. That would be a place, right in there. Real simple drive, just boom, 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 boom. And then you're on that road, and then this is open. Nobody on either side, even back. Let's see, 1990. It's not really mapping that spot there. Yeah. You guys think the boyfriend, huh? Yeah, probably, but how would anybody know that, though? So it's either the boyfriend or the husband pointed out that it's missing. The husband... Well, I don't know where the husband lived. You know, but you could also see a scenario where he's still married and he's jealous of this Roger guy and he does something. So you've got two competing scenarios here. And they're almost both just as common. Yeah, I don't really understand the purse part. You know? The purse is one of the sort of a strange and oddity. If she was killed and abducted, why would you take the purse? You know, wouldn't you just leave the purse there like you left the car and the... maybe it was an attempt to make it look like she went somewhere. And nobody could say what she had with her. You know, if you have her purse and herself, you know, somebody could make it... That might just look like she left with somebody. All right, I'm switching stories now. We're going to the Barbara Nantais, I think, and James Alt. I've heard of this story. I think I've even talked about it, but I can't find any folders or any, you know, even in Google Earth, there's nothing related to it. Or it just might sound much like another one, I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah, it could have been all kinds of things. Holy cats! Maybe an alien put him there too. We don't know. All right, so here we go. A 16-year-old Lakewood girl was beaten to death, and her 17-year-old companion. I think I've seen something on television about this, or a documentary. I'm pretty sure. I remember the guy. He's like a surfer type dude. 17-year-old companion seriously injured early yesterday as they slept on a strip of sand near Torrey Pines State Beach. So I guess we can try to get over to that. Yeah, and I think I've even seen, like in the documentary, there's pictures down at the beach or something. So here's the beach. Yeah, I think I've seen one, but I'm just going to do the newspaper stuff like we normally do. So, she was beaten to death and her 17-year-old companion seriously injured early yesterday as they slept on a strip of sand near Torrey Pines State Beach. Officials say the girl may have been raped before she was killed. Her companion, reportedly from Long Beach, was reported in serious condition at Scripps Hospital with severe head injuries. The youth's name was withheld because of his age. Police said presumably the youth was knocked unconscious while still inside a sleeping bag, I remember this, and was unable to tell them what happened or when the attack occurred. Police were called to the beach about 6 a.m. to investigate a reported assault and found the badly beaten youth on their arrival. While police talked with the boy, a group of citizens searched the beach for his companion, and at about 6:30 a.m. found the nude body of Barbara Nantais of 36. I just want to put that in there. Doesn't matter. But 3615 Loomis Street. And that's in Lakewood. So that's that one. So it's pretty far north there. She lived right here. So that's her cute little house that she's from. 3615 right there. I'm sure that's the same house. Without the solar panels on top, of course. Police said presumably that the youth was knocked unconscious. Police were called to the beach at about 6 a.m. Okay, we did that part. And then while police talked with a boy, a group of citizens searching the beach for his companion, and at about 6:30 a.m. found the nude body of Barbara Nantais of 3615 Loomis Street, Lakewood, near the lifeguard tower number 7. I wonder if that's something that's still there. If that's a landmark. Let's see. Huh. That's too bad. Yeah, actually, lifeguard tower number 7 was available for some other beach. Is that even like a beach anymore? It looks like it's eroding away. Doesn't look good. Yeah, there's surfers down there. And it looks like there's a lifeguard tower right there. That's 5. Okay, so let's see what this next one is. Maybe both of these, hopefully it's 6 and 7 like this, and then we'll have it exactly here. Hold on. Hey, we gotta actually go along the beach and look at these lifeguard towers. So if that's 4, we gotta go the other way, but let's just see. Just let me figure it out on my own. I can do it. You know how it goes. Thanks, Kelly B. Wait, did I just blow by it? No. I was looking at something else. No, I'm not covering the Black Dahlia right now, but thank you. As you can see, we're doing something totally different. Alright, that's 4, so it's the other way. So that's what they look like. That's 5. And maybe 6 and... I don't know, 6 and 7 right next to each other. It looks like when they're under construction, they put them next to each other for a moment. See, those are lifeguard towers. But it looks like they moved them, like they're doing construction, so they moved 2 of them. This was 5 right here. So let's see the spacing on these, if they're pretty consistent. Or, yeah. So 1, okay, this is 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're nice, perfectly spaced out. Right where this Torrey Pines would be, where 6 would be. And then 7 would be right here. And that's funny because that's exactly in my mind from the documentary. The Tower 7 was near it, like this overpass type deal. So I think this is where Tower 7 would be. Alright, let's see. Let me go back. So when I was on here, that one was 5, right? I just want to double check. No, it's 4. Okay. 4. Three. 2. And then I'm going to space them exactly the same. Because this one is spaced exactly like that one. So that's 5. And then that would be exactly where 6 would be. And 7 would be a little bit further down, I think. Is that like about right? Let's see. Maybe a little bit more even. Bang, bang, bang. And 7 would be probably about right there. And they probably were doing this construction and just moved them out of the way, I would think. Maybe there isn't one now, but let's see. Is there a road down here? No. That's a railroad track. Goes under. I wonder what they were doing right here. Just fortifying it, maybe. Yeah, well, I don't know anything about. We're not even talking about Black Dahlia, so I don't even know what you're referring to. I mean, I know Black Dahlia, but I mean, you know, talking about Close to the Doctor and all this kind of stuff, we're just doing other things. Sorry. Alright, now we're moving on to the second page of this. Is this interesting to you guys at all, or? I don't know. Yeah, maybe one day I'll cover the Black Dahlia or something. I don't know. There's just so much information and all the conspiracy crap. I mean, I would cover it in the same way I do here, just newspaper factual stuff. Okay. Awesome. Girl slain, boy. This is continuation. Deputy Coroner Joe Cogan would not say whether Nantais had been raped. He did say, however, that Nantais appeared to have severe head injuries and that there were signs of a struggle near the body. No weapon was found at the scene, and the exact cause of death is pending completion of an autopsy. According to police, the 17-year-old said he and Nantais and another couple came to the beach Saturday night to camp. The other couple chose to sleep in the car while the youth and Nantais took sleeping bags to the beach. While on the beach, the youth said he and Nantais joined a group of males having a party a short distance from their campsite. After spending some time at the party, the couple returned to their sleeping bags to spend the night. No suspects were in custody. All right. Police yesterday sought the cooperation of persons camping along the beach near Torrey Pines State Park in solving the weekend bludgeoning death of a 16-year-old Lakewood girl. Several campers were questioned following the slaying Sunday with negative results. We are asking anyone who was on the beach Saturday evening or early Sunday morning to call us, he said. Officials said details in the death of Barbara Nantais of 3515 Loomis Street were sketchy. This is a tough one for the police, and I don't know how they'll handle the case, said one source close to the investigation. The slain girl's father, Ralph Nantais, told the San Diego Union yesterday, that looks like lifeguard tower number 7, I think, was found behind the lifeguard tower. So she was found, she was taken, I bet you she was taken over here and assaulted. But there was other things done to her. Nantais also said that his daughter, a varsity cheerleader at Lakewood High School, basically was a good child and did not give us any heartaches. Barbara and her companion, Jim Alt, 17, I guess it's spelled A-U-L-T there, but it was A-L-T in a different place that I found it, presumably were attacked and beaten sometime after 10:30 p.m. Saturday while asleep in sleeping bags on the beach near lifeguard tower number 7. Officials also said the girl may have been raped before she was beaten. However, a coroner spokesman said confirmation of a sexual assault was pending completion of laboratory tests. Determination of the exact cause of the girl's death is pending completion of an autopsy report, the spokesman said. Alt was reported in serious condition in the intensive care unit at Scripps Hospital with severe head injuries. One investigator said the investigation will depend a lot on what Alt can tell police. He could have been unconscious for a long time and is doubtful that his initial information was helpful, the investigator said. Police say they have no suspects in custody and that no motive has been determined for the fatal attack. Police were called to the park 1.5 miles south of Del Mar about 6 a.m. Sunday after Alt reportedly beaten almost beyond recognition about the head and face, staggered to a car accompanied by another Lakewood area couple, Richard Selga, 20, and Cynthia Ancog, 16. The couples came here Saturday to camp on the beach, but Selga and Ancog chose to sleep in the car. Okay, so that was the other couple. While Nantais and Alt carried sleeping bags to the beach. Selga, upon seeing Alt's condition, called police and then enlisted the help of 2 girls on mopeds in the search for the missing girl. Nantais' nude body was found at 6:30 a.m. north of the park's parking area at the base of a cliff near the lifeguard tower. Deputy Coroner Joe Cogan said Nantais appeared to have received severe head injuries and that there were signs of a struggle near the body. Police also found a large amount of blood on nearby rocks and blood-stained clothing and bedding several feet from the body. We don't know whether the blood was the result of someone being struck with the rocks or someone striking the rocks. There is a difference, he said. Earlier, police said Alt and Nantais briefly joined a party of 6 or 7 men a short distance from their campsite around 10:30 p.m. before returning to their sleeping bags for the night. Since Nantais had been dead several hours before her body was found, the attack could have occurred early Sunday morning, investigators said. I doubt it. I think it was quick. Just after knocking the other guy out. But he probably thought he was dead. The attacker probably thought Alt was killed. Alright, this is a couple days later. Yeah, guys, hit that dang like button, you know? Doesn't hurt you. That's not too bad. I should have put one of the big cases in the title, though. We could have got another couple hundred people here for sure. Let's see. Nantais and a companion, Jim Alt 17, also reportedly from the Lakewood area, were attacked late Saturday. Wait, a 16-year-old Lakewood girl whose body was found last weekend at Torrey Pines State Beach had been sexually assaulted. There you go. A coroner spokesman said yesterday. The spokesman also said that the death of Barbara Nantais was caused by a severe beating and strangulation. Nantais and a companion, Jim Alt, 17, also reportedly from Lakewood area, were attacked late Saturday night or early Sunday morning as they slept. Yeah, I mean, I think she was attacked shortly after him, so if it was late night, like, 2 in the morning, I don't think he lingered around, though, for a long time. Also badly beaten, was reported in fair condition but showing improvement in the intensive care unit at Scripps Hospital, where he is recovering from severe head injuries. Police have talked with him but refused to discuss the details. Earlier, police sought information from persons who might have been camped on the beach during the weekend. Homicide Lieutenant Winston Yetta said a number of calls have been received, and it was hoped that new information could be developed after interviewing the callers. Several campers were questioned following the slaying Sunday with little results. Although there are no suspects in the case, Yetta said it is assumed the sexual assault was the motive for the attack on the couple. Earlier, police said Nantais and Alt presumably were attacked and beaten sometime after 10:30 p.m. After they briefly joined 6 or 7 males at a party. The couple came here Saturday to camp on the beach with Richard Selga, 20, and Cynthia Ancog. Selga and Ancog chose to sleep in their vehicle, yep. Police were called to the park about 1.5 miles south of Del Mar about 6 a.m. Sunday after Alt reportedly beaten almost beyond recognition about the head and face, staggered to the car of Selga and Ancog. Upon seeing Alt's condition, Selga called police and then enlisted the help of 2 girls on mopeds in a search for Nantais. Her nude body was found on the beach about 6:30 a.m., 1/4 mile north of the parking area at the base of a cliff, several yards from the lifeguard tower, police said. Let's see. Police found evidence of a struggle near the body and blood-stained rocks, clothing, and bedding nearby. So I wonder where that parking area was. Oh, right there. And there you go. I mean, yep, that makes sense. Tower 7. And guess what? 0.25 miles lands right in the middle of that parking area. So this is the parking area where, let's see, hold on, what the hell are their names? Okay, so this is where Richard Selga and Cynthia Ancog park and slept. So man, he staggered all the way from over here back up to the parking lot. Man, it's a long walk with that kind of head injury. Yeah, I know, JSD. Do you mind if I just... God. Man. I tell you guys this every single time. I just want to cover the cases. I know what I'm doing. Alright, here we go. Yeah, so the best thing to do is don't start looking stuff up while we're doing the show, okay? Because I'm going to be going over it. when you do that, you get really antsy. I can just see it's like crack, and you got to say something. All right. So here we go. August 14th, Barbara Nantais, a 16-year-old Lakewood girl, was sexually assaulted and beaten to death on the beach at Torrey Pines State Park, where she and a friend had spent the night. The girl's father recalled that San Diego police officer assured me they were making every possible effort to find the people responsible. So far, no suspects have been identified, and her family is now running ads in a Long Beach newspaper offering a reward for information leading to her killer. Other than that, there is not a heck of a lot we can do about it. And that was from 1978. And then in this, that's her right there. And somebody actually removed one of her breasts, actually. So that's part of the story. Somebody actually, the person removed, mutilated her body and took one of her breasts. So at that point, it's sort of a different type of story, Right. Then 9 years later, okay, GSD, here we go. There was a woman named Claire Hough, Hough, and here's her story. The fully clothed body of a young woman was found early Friday on Torrey Pines State Beach. Another person on the same beach, according to San Diego Police Department spokesman Bill Robinson. The identity of the woman, believed to be in her late teens or early 20s, was not immediately known, said a spokesman for the San Diego County Coroner's Office. Robinson said police responded to a call about 5 a.m., found the woman lying under a highway bridge just south of the Carmel Valley Road and east of the Torrey Pines State Beach parking lot. Wow, so that's just there's the parking lot, and they're saying just east, so maybe over here somewhere, something like that. What was the funny part, Sadeko? The breast removal, or what? I'm trying to figure out what you're laughing at. Now JSD's not talking anymore. But come on, you know how I do the show. Yeah. Robinson said police responding to a call about 5 a.m. found the woman lying under a highway bridge just south of Carmel Valley Road. She was wearing a pink long-sleeve blouse and denim jeans and had stab wounds and other injuries to the head and chest. A towel, portable radio, and woman's beach sandals were found near the dark-haired victim. Police have no suspects in the case. Homicide detectives did not find either a weapon or other evidence at the scene. Thanks, Greg. Oh yeah, this one starts down here. I remember this. A body found at the end of North Torrey Pines State Beach last Friday has been identified as that of 13-year-old Rhode Island girl who was visiting her grandparents. Deputy San Diego County Coroner George Dickinson said the girl had been strangled to death and her body been mutilated with a knife or other sharp instrument. See, so the same thing happened to this person 9 years later. Dickinson said positive identification of Claire P. Hough was made by a comparison of her dental charts. The body, clad in blue jeans and a pink blouse, was found at about 5 a.m. Friday, lying on a towel on the beach near Soledad Creek. Let's see where that is. there, I'll tell you that. Well, they mentioned the parking area. Maybe this is a creek right here that runs in. Kind of thinking that's what that is. And that's probably the bridge. Oh no, that's a train. Let's see. I don't know. Hard to say. The teenager, the daughter of Samuel and Penelope Hough of Rhode Island, had been visiting her grandparents. According to a police report, Claire last was seen Thursday when she returned to her grandparents' house after a trip to the beach and went to her room. They assumed she had gone to bed, and Claire was not missed until 9 a.m. The grandparents told authorities they did not know of anyone Claire met while in San Diego. Then in 2014, so this is sort of this interesting thing that developed, but it sounds like this is bogus, like a retired San Diego police criminalist apparently killed himself after being linked to the murder of a 14-year-old girl 3 decades ago. The body of Kevin Charles Brown, 62, was found Tuesday at Kayakuma Ranch State Park in the San Diego County town of Julian, and his death was being investigated as a suicide. Police had been working with the county district attorney's office and were planning to arrest Brown, who had been informed that he was under investigation. Yeah, but see, they just kept asking him these questions, and there's a whole nother, it's in the description, a long document on it, where it really, he kind of just killed himself because of, I don't know why you would kill yourself if you know that you're innocent, though. That's the thing that's bothersome about it. They found his DNA in the items, but he works in the lab, and you know, you can have cross-contamination and all kinds of things going along, or wrong there. In November 2012, cold case detectives used DNA evidence to link Brown and another man to the killing of Claire Hough, a 14-year-old girl who was found at Torrey Pines State Beach in August 1984. She had been beaten and strangled, sand was stuffed in her mouth, and one of her breasts had been cut off. So, you know, you could have a copycat situation, or there's an active killer around, and that's his signature. Hough from Cranston, Rhode Island, was visiting her grandparents in the area when she was killed. Brown was a civilian criminalist in San Diego, so same thing as what's his face, Paul Holes, right? Probably contemporaries, you know. Maybe a little too young, I guess. San Diego Police Laboratory from 82 to his retirement in 2002, so no, they would have been worked together even. Brown was a generalist whose job would have included analyzing narcotics and performing other types of evidence work. The other suspect, Ronald Clyde Tatro, was 67 when he died in a boating accident in 2011. I would think that he is most likely the killer, and he was 67 in 2011. So if we go back, you know, you see it'd be 55 in 2000, then subtract another 16, so he'd be 29 years old, and then he would have been 20 during the other killing. And remember how there was other kids? Wouldn't it be interesting if he was one of the people of the 6 kids that were partying? See, that's it. That's what's interesting right there. If you go back like that, he would have been 20 years old, this Ronald Clyde Tatro, in the 1975, what was it, 75? What year was that? No, 1978. No, so he'd been like 22. But that's right in the age of those people that were maybe in that partying, that were partying there, the other 6 people. So wouldn't that be interesting if he was one of those people? Rorson declined to say whether the two men knew the girl or had earlier been suspects in her death. If you want to read that one article, it should be in the description. It's pretty messed up. You know, they lied to him and they said, well, how do you know this person? Like, they were trying to make it seem like he was friends with Clyde Tatro, and, you know, he was just trying to help police so he didn't get a lawyer or anything. And then they sort of trapped him in things that he really... And then how do you get out of it if your DNA's there? You're toast, you know? But his DNA was explainable because he apparently worked in the same lab. Yep. So was that the case you were talking about, JSD? I know you're still listening. That's actually why I was doing it, because it was so crazy that they're connected in some way, whether somebody was doing it being a copycat or somebody there's just a killer out there. And maybe that one Clyde Tatro individual is, because it sort of looks like one killer, right? Been discovered after his death by someone. Yeah, she's kind of young. Yeah, let me just, I'll just scroll down. It's a really long article here. It's an actual podcast, so you might be an interesting one to go listen to. The DNA gone wrong and suicide of Kevin Brown. So they do connect even in here. Barbara Nantais. Yeah, that's her. Claire Hough right there. Or Hough, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Anybody know? And that's the Ronald Clyde Tatro individual. Kind of Ronald Clyde Tatro was the kind of heavy you'd see in a movie. Square jaw, weathered, leathery skin, with slick back hair. When I first saw his mugshot, he reminded me of De Niro's. Yeah, that's what I was looking at him. He kidnapped a woman in Arkansas, threw her in his truck of his car, drove her to a remote spot in the country, raped her at knife point. According to a story by James Vlaos, published in the Atlantic 2015. Tatro spoke with a psychiatrist prior to his trial and said he had no control of his violent urges towards women. A problem, he said, went back to his childhood. Tatro's ex-wife told investigators he was a violent man who used to regularly tie her up and rape her. He was paroled in 1982 and decided he needed a change. So he couldn't have attacked Barbara Nantais. He was in prison, right? So then it gets kind of weird then, right? Because then we have to believe that this criminalist who was set up, really, if you read through this, you'll see how he's just totally set up. Then they don't even have the right killer for either of them. I mean, even though his DNA, how is his DNA found at, I guess his DNA was found at Hough's murder. This one. Okay? So, I guess that's possible because this was 85. So he could have definitely been involved with this one. But he can't have been... I know, I just said that. He was in prison. Yeah. Yeah, see, in 1975 he kidnapped somebody. Yeah, I mean, this is... I actually read most of this whole thing because it was interesting. I don't feel like going through it all though. It's too much. So he was in prison with Nantais. So that means he could only be part of Hough's murder. But then, you know, the other one, is that a copycat murder? You know, I don't know. That's so weird. Because why would he do that to Hough in the same place, but he wasn't involved in the first one, and yet he's already this violent type individual? Was he just copying the first murder? But we don't know who killed Nantais. I mean, it's so weird because they're trying to pin the DNA in Hough. Are the two samples are from both of these guys here, right? So then who the hell killed Nantais? You would think that the same person killed both, unless it was just a copycat. Very strange scenario here. Barbara Nantais was murdered in 1978. Ronald Tatro was in prison in 1978. He was locked up in 1975 and then paroled in 1982. See? He couldn't have done that one. Kevin Brown was a college student in Sacramento, 10 hours away. He had not yet graduated or been offered a job in San Diego. It was impossible that Ronald Tatro had killed Barbara Nantais, and very, very unlikely that Kevin Brown had. The authorities knew these facts, but included the murder of Barbara Nantais in their request for search warrants anyway, and did not share those facts with the judge. So, by the way, the wife of the criminalist, this just shows you how serious this was. The wife of the criminalist sued San Diego and won $6 million. And it was a wrongful death because he killed himself. He was almost forced into it out of the pressure, even though he didn't do it. But they were putting a case together against him that would have been airtight, you know, because it's DNA, right? DNA is, it's just brutal. In his defense, attorneys for then retired detective Michael Lambert said he was not given all the information he needed, that he relied on what he was told by DNA experts, and that he was not aware criminalists stored their own semen in the lab until after he had filed his affidavits. See, they would actually do that. The criminalists in this lab would use their own DNA as a sample. Their own semen. And, okay, so in February 2020, a jury ruled for Rebecca Brown, the wife, and awarded her more than $6 million for illegal search and seizure, $3 million plus another $3 million for abuse of power leading to the death of her husband. Attorneys for Brown offered to limit their demand for punitive damages to $1 if Detective Lambert would simply apologize to Rebecca Brown. He refused, and the jury ordered him personally to pay $50,000 in punitive damages. What an idiot. A story from San Diego Union Tribune said the jury found the affidavit to secure search warrants relied on judicial deception in minimizing the likelihood of contamination, with one juror saying, "We thought the affidavit wasn't a fair and balanced approach to the situation." Yeah. So that's pretty sweet, though. But I mean, man, the guy killed himself. I mean, it does seem kind of drastic, but man, if you're doing this work and you got this case and there's really no way that you feel like you can get out of it because it's DNA, right? So what about the murder of Barbara Nantais? As of today, the case is still unsolved. Because now it's weird, right? Because the other individuals ruled out of Nantais, and Brown is very unlikely to be the killer of Nantais. So then you ask yourself, how sure are they that the DNA was actually this guy right here? What's his face? His name? It's so far up there. Ronald Clyde Tatro. How do they know? I'd like to know for sure that that's his DNA that they found on Hough. Because if not, then I think then you're looking at a possibility of there being one killer of both, just spread out over the years, and they have the wrong guys the whole time. Although it sounds like they're pretty certain. So right now, it's bizarre. I think that Ronald Clyde Tatro may have actually killed. No, he couldn't have. Yeah, so there you go. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I was saying earlier when I was, I was speculating, but then I realized, wait a minute, no, he was in prison. So he would have been 22, but who cares, right? He was in prison. It doesn't matter. He had nothing to do with Nantais' death. But yeah, it's what a freaking, yeah, exactly, K-Dog. It's just you're just stuck in a weird place. And now it's time for this. Two hours and 23 minutes. Oh, I think I need like a Gatorade or something. No, it wasn't airtight, and they knew it. Because he didn't know it at the time, but there was a lot of bogus stuff that was done, and that came out in a trial. But would that trial have happened before he was put in prison? No. It's like a wrongful death one. Dun, dun. Oh, yeah. And yes, you guys, if you'd like to help support the channel during my vacation with some beverages of some sort, or... I was supposed to play golf in the morning, but I told him if you guys can find somebody else, fit him in there, because I hate getting up, I always stay up so late on here. If it's in the afternoon, I can do it. DNA was found to indicate another person. Huh? Sorry, so no, I don't know what that means. Thanks, Nicole Wilson. Take a break. Take a hike. Right, JSD? Yeah. So they did check DNA on first case. Yeah, I don't know if they collected the DNA in 1978. That's the problem. But there was a sexual assault. Well, that's what I would think, but if it's a copycat, because it was in the paper, I think.
Take a break, winking face.
Oh yeah. So here's... I'll just read you this one. I guess I'm not really taking a break, but... Oh! And there's quietly frozen out of nowhere. You're amazing, she said. Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys are always so generous. And that's why this year we're at 34,000, and last year was 22, which was an awesome year. This year is just blowing that one away. It could even double it, if we keep on trucking. But recently my friend confessed one of her cousins killing spree with a boyfriend. Huh. Yeah, crazy. So here's what it says about Barbara Nantais, if that's how you say her name. says on August 13th, this is on the NBCSanDiego.com unsolved murder page. On August 13th, 1978, Barbara Nantais and her boyfriend James Alt were sleeping on the sand at Torrey Pines State Beach when they were attacked by an unknown suspect or suspects. Nantais, only 15 at the time, was raped and beaten and strangled to death. Detectives discovered the teen's killer had also severed one of her breasts. Nantais' killer was never found, also survived the violent attack, but let's see. They're spelling it A-L-T here. Survived the violent attack, but suffered a severe head wound that left him semi-conscious with no recollection of the assault. A couple of years ago, Alt told NBC7 the murder still haunts him. Nantais' case has similarities to the killing of another San Diego teen, 14-year-old Claire Hough, or something like that, who was murdered on the same stretch of beach as Nantais. Hough's breast was also disfigured. Evidence in both cases suggests the killings could have been committed by the same perpetrator. In August 2015, Nantais' loved ones were told detectives had identified a person of interest in the case. However, nearly 40 years later, her murder remains unsolved. And that person of interest was probably Brown. Yeah, this is where I found the other, well, you can't see what I'm looking at. Well, thanks for the little vacation there. I don't actually have any more material for tonight, but I guess we could do another newspapers.com 30-minute segment. You always come up with just really bizarre ones. How, they're going to be like in Iraq or something, or 1800s. Come up with something that's going to lead to a. Look at these 1800. Carlsbad, New Mexico. This is like, they're still cowboys and Indians at this point. His head was found impaled upon a stake by his fellow soldiers. Yeah. I don't know. Life is saved after 5 days bound and gagged. Man finds wife bound and gagged. That's the same one. No, I don't know anything about that. A middle-aged farm woman told today of being bound and gagged for 5 days in a small closet of her lonely home in the dense Ozark Hills and saved from death by the timely arrival of her husband. Yes, since he's the one that put her there, right? Let's see. Wow, I'm going to just change the date. 1960 to 1975. Oh, by the way, you know what's crazy? When I'm going over the Ed Kemper there was another serial killer in the same area who didn't do the same like signature type killing. Because that's the thing in Ed Kemper's case, is killing it's not like, you know, I wouldn't even call it an MO. There's other stuff in there. But there was another person in the same area who would pick up hitchhikers and kill them. He killed 11 people. Same exact time frame. Like, they were finding these bodies and they were attributing them to this one guy, but turns out they weren't from him. They were Kemper. And then Kemper, in one of his interviews, said, they asked him, how many serial killers do you think are out there right now? And he goes, like me, probably, he goes 30, at least 35. Yeah, wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, this is in London. Later, the driver was found bound and gagged in Epping Forest. Hey, you got one that landed on all of them. Anybody else? I have no idea what you're talking about, Alifair. You'll have to send me an email. Let's see. Man, you guys don't like playing the game anymore? Kit Kat was always into it. Okay, I'll do it myself. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. 1974, January 2nd. Wow, this is right after Kemper was in there. There we go. Identity of the young woman whose nude body was found Friday in Mark West Creek is still being sought today by sheriff investigators. The victim was described as 18 to 25 years of age, about 5 feet 6 inches, 125 pounds, with long dark hair, brown eyes, and pierced ears. She also had false upper teeth. Her nude body was hogtied with clothesline rope, was found by 2 youths Friday afternoon in a remote stretch of Mark West Creek. A $1,000 reward has been offered through the secret witness program for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. So now we got, okay, Santa Rosa, California, January 1974. January, ew, jeez. 1974. And then let's see how many things come up just for that one, and maybe they identified her. Okay. This is the next day. It's not really a game, it's just type in a keyword. Identity of slave victim sought. Officials said she was strangled to death. Officers have combed the area where the body was found for her clothing or someone who may have seen something. Officials are uncertain how far down the stream the victim's body had been washed before it was caught under a log where it was finally found. Now they're talking about 4 of the slaying victims, including the latest girl, were found in Franz Valley. Yeah, I bet this is going to be a serial killer victim once we figure out who this is. I'd bet money on it. This is the 17th, so 2 weeks later. Killer of a woman. Sonoma County Sheriff Identification Technician Lou Doable has been in Southern California to contact friends of Teresa Diane Walsh. So here we go. Teresa Diane Walsh. Wow, she's still just missing. Still unsolved. How crazy is that? Isn't that wild? They're saying Santa Rosa Hitchhiker murders. I think have I talked about this one? Yeah, there it is. Teresa Walsh, right there. Santa Rosa Jane Doe, 1979. I didn't have anything in the folder there, though. That says 1973, though. Is that when she went missing? Yeah. I guess that would have been 73, late 73. So they're thinking that's a Ted Bundy victim, huh? Oh, that definitely looks like one, huh? Teresa Diane Smith Walsh, 23, of Miranda, was last seen December 22nd at Zoom Beach in Malibu, intent on hitchhiking to Garberville and joining her family for Christmas. After Ed Kemper, there was a huge campaign for people to quit hitchhiking. Her partially submerged body was found 6 days later by kayakers in Mark West Creek. She had been hogtied and clothesline rope, sexually assaulted, strangled, and was determined to have been dead. But there's no beating to death. That's what Bundy did. Due to recent heavy rains in the area, high water marks suggested the body could have drifted several miles. I don't know why they're throwing this in as a Bundy victim. Bundy would beat people, though. And he doesn't have any California murders on his books, that are official. Yeah. Huh. Nope, there you go. That was just a random one there. Another hitchhiker. See, Ed Kemper even talks about like how great, hitchhiking is for people like him. The killers. That's what I've said a million times. So that's when they switch over to sex workers, because they'll get into your car just like hitchhikers would. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff out there. That's for sure. Oops. Shit. See, this is another one in California in 71 with also hogtied here. Killed pretty Nancy Morgan. Okay. Met her in the mountain. Apparently there might be a killer in this one. Hold on. 1970, a student report at Duke clipped a news story from a paper about Nancy Morgan, and now that just disappeared. A Madison County grand jury, this is from 1984, indicted James Arthur Adams, a former Vista worker, in the 1970 murder of Nancy Dean Morgan during a Monday meetings in Marshall. Adams was indicted on charges of first-degree murder. Neither District Attorney James Rasher, blah, 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 blah. Nancy D. Morgan was a 24-year-old volunteer in service to America. Her nude body was found in the back seat of a government-owned car at a secluded pull-off near Hot Springs on June 17, 1970. Autopsy results indicated she died from strangulation and that she'd been sexually molested. She was believed to have died 2 days before her body was discovered. Investigators from the federal and state bureaus of investigation assisted local authorities in investigating the murder in 1970. Adams told investigators at the time that Morgan left his home in the Bluff section at 3:30 a.m. on Monday. Adams told investigators that Morgan left to return to her home in Shelton. The 24-year-old Louisiana native's body was discovered 2 days later by James Roger Lewis. Anyway, so that one's solved too. Yeah, you don't want to hitchhike. It's just not, that's not what happened in this one. But what if you typed in hitchhike with this? Young women, hitchhikers, strangulation. Death sentence, young women, hitchhikers, strangulation. Maureen Sterling, 12, Yvonne Weber, 13, both pupils at Herbert Slater Junior High School here, were the first to disappear. It was a Friday night, time for what they considered a harmless deception. Their parents would drop them at the ice rink, I think we covered this one, believing that their daughters would be spending the next few hours skating, but the girls customarily left the rink as soon as their parents were gone, hitchhiking across town to a park frequented by young people, then hitched back in time to be picked up in front of the ice rink. The night of February 4th, 1972, they never made it back. Someone told police he thought he saw them getting into a car nearby, something like Guerneville Road. The killer who passed through Sonoma County may now be responsible for 30 to 40 slayings. By the time, this is an article from 1975. 1 month after they disappeared, March 4th, 1972, Kim Wendy Allen, 19, of Santa Rosa, junior college student, disappeared hitchhiking from San Rafael to San Rosa. She was found the next day lying on the embankment 20 feet off Rural Enterprise Road east of San. I wonder if she's been. Let me see. Murder of Kim Wendy Allen. Yeah, so this is her right here. March 14, 1972. Let's see, at around 5:30, Allen accepted a ride from two men, later ruled out as suspects, who said they took her as far as the Bell Avenue and 101 intersection. Kim Wendy Allen's nude body was found the next day by hikers down an in a creek bed off Enterprise Road. She had been assaulted, tortured, and strangled to death over a period of 30 minutes by a wire around her neck. She died this way sometime around midnight. An oily substance was found on her side that was thought to have been from a metal shop. Ligature marks were found on her arms and legs that indicated she also, at one time in the hours before her murder, been tied spread eagle. A single gold hoop earring was found at the scene that was not known to have belonged to Kim. But by far the most important piece of evidence was DNA from the possible perpetrator. It is in the process of being tested as of 2018. As with most of these murders, it is not known whether this so-called witch symbol was found at the scene. Several weeks later, Kim's backpack was found and her checkbook was deposited in drive-up mailbox across the Kentfield post office on March 24th. Fingerprints were found on the checkbook, but it was never revealed if they were viable or not. A 12-inch long, 12-inch deep impression in the loam was noted about 10 feet down the 20-foot embankment where Kim was found, indicating that her killer or killers have fallen when they were disposing of her body, possibly injuring themselves. Police reported this because if anyone showed up in a hospital or anywhere else around March 5th with injured leg or arm, they wanted to know. And that's crazy, man. Just all over the place. Never ends. I mean, that's the thing, is that's why I cover the women that are more vulnerable, and it's just they are the normal victim of serial killers. Like, it's very rare when you get, there's guys that are killed by serial killers, but I mean, I wouldn't say rare, but it's very, if you were going to do numbers, it's like 1 in 100. So. 23-year-old Teresa Walsh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's nowhere near as common, yeah. Well, you guys, I think that's going to be it for me. I had 2 4-hour shows in a row. This one's 2 hours and 50 minutes, so almost 3. But tomorrow we'll be doing Serial Killer Sunday regarding Ed Kemper. Edmund. Here, we can just play this one part if you want, as a sort of a...
How would you select your victims?
This is later on. Like, he's been in prison for, 15 years by this point.
How would you select your victims?
I didn't select them. It was random. And it was also the development of the passion. If I was drove, they died. Like the last 2 victims. I was so pissed I'd have killed anybody that got in the car. But there was times I drove a woman and her son clear up into Oregon, crossed over to the coast highway.
Wow, he's up in Oregon.
And like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, fog, misty highway, and I'm driving along. There's not a car near me. It's totally alien county. This is way up around Eureka or something. And here's these 2 probably high school girls. They looked up to be 17 or 18 years old. They're hitching the first ride into town because they've snuck off the farm. They've gone the half a mile or so out to the road, and they're going to hit on into town, have a good time, and sneak back. It was obvious because they were grabbing.
You know, when you listen to this guy, would you ever think that his personality is a serial killer? I mean, it's just so crazy.
The first ride they could get.
He's just like, you know, some
Here
big
I've been
doofus.
fighting my inner
you know.
impulses to not go off on this woman
Yeah,
and
it's
her
Ed Kemper.
12-year-old son who's hitchhiking clear back to Seattle, right? And I'm struggling with these feelings. I don't want to do it. Man, you ought to do it anyway. You're weak. You're a punk. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, we already said that.
All day
big
long
kid.
I'm doing this. And by the time I'm coming
6'9",
back down the highway,
280
it's
pounds,
awesome.
160.
Oh, and I'm driving along just to get home. And here's a perfect situation. I cannot get busted. It exceeds the criterion of picking someone up and not getting caught. No one knows me in the county. No one's seen me going through it, right? It's a fog shroud at night. Nobody could even see me if their home was in view. And I don't know them. I picked them up. We drove into town about 2 miles, 3 miles. I dropped them off. I got some gas and kept right on going. I was not in a proper state of mind to do something like that. It blew me away. I couldn't believe it. It was like it was handed to me on a platter. It scared the hell out of me.
It scared the hell out of him that he
do it.
didn't attack them.
I had everything I needed.
Jeez.
To go back to your first...
Again, so about the selection and the preparation. If I was selecting and preparing and everything was all set,
He's still alive, too.
that's it. I got them. But I didn't. They're not dead. That I show that as an example of many times that kind of thing happened. All of a sudden, somebody shows up out of nowhere. I pick them up, take them where they're going, but I didn't do nothing to them because it was the mindset was all wrong. The only time people got killed was when she and I was fighting like cats and dogs, and I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't vent it any other way. I look back on it, and I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying
I don't believe this right here.
I think they were surrogates. I was killing her, not them. I
Nah.
was attacking her station. I was attacking her.
Because you would actually take their heads and sexually assault the head, okay, of a victim. Okay, so you can't say that. Oh, you were, you know. I don't buy that shit. There might be some element to that, but
Stance in that university setting. Also, I hated the university for what it was doing to her. She worked her butt off. They took every bit of it. Oh yeah, we love that. Okay, here's some more. You want some more authority? You want some more
which one is it? Am I
responsibility?
wrong,
Here.
or you do agree?
It was eating her up. She went into that job sober. She came out of the job damn near canned because she went to work drunk one day. She couldn't cope with it, and it was destroying her a little at a time. She needed help, but if you told her she needed if I told her she needed a mental hospital, if my little sister told her she needed a mental hospital or a dry-out program, it peeled our skin for us. We did not mess with that woman. My little sister was cheating on her husband when my mother was murdered. If she had known my little sister was doing that, she probably would have been out of the family. That was totally outrageous to her Victorian mores as she grew up. These twisted Victorian
I know,
bullshit,
we know JSD.
ideals that her mother laid on her as a kid and twisted her life with. And then she tried to run that shit on my dad.
You said you had a lot of sympathy and empathy towards...
I think you're going to
Mary
struggle
and Fishy.
JSD tomorrow,
When you
so
talk to her.
you should probably just
Isn't
mute
that
your,
strange
like,
to
turn
say
off your
that
keyboard and just
you
watch
had
it.
killed her in such a brutal
There
fashion?
was a draw. There was a draw to the...
It's going to be hard for you not to type in everything that you know.
compassion toward her when I talked to her. I tried to remember what we talked about. And in fact, I think what I said about her is that she epitomized what really drove me. She was a haughty young lady. She's kind of stuck up, distant. I look
Okay.
back on it and I see a girl that was not beautiful. She was not plain.
Well, you can
She
join.
was
Just
somewhere
don't
in
type
between.
in stuff about
She
the
was
case.
caught
You
up
know,
in
let
that
me get
beauty
through
thing,
the case. Okay.
like kids in the valley are, okay? Valley girls, trying to make something of themselves and exploit.
See, that's the thing is like, you know, when I'm covering a case, just don't leap ahead and go, oh yeah, because he does this over here. Oh, and he does this one, and he does this one and this one. Oh, and he does this one. Just let me go through it and then just comment about what we're talking about at the moment. Okay? I know it's hard, you know. I know it's tough to do, but it doesn't need to be, though, right? Because I just want to go through each of these as they were happening in the newspapers. I'm just showing you what kind of guy, you know, who we're talking about right here by listening to him. That's it.
Attributes.
But yeah, I don't. You don't. Doesn't mean you can't join the conversation. It just means don't leap ahead. Oh, I knew, Nicole. I just thought it was funny. Yeah, you were talking to him. Let's see. Make any sense? All right, cool.
They have, and to downplay other ones. And she was playing a little Miss Distant with me. And her friend was very open and her roommate was very open and very a country girl talking and stuff. And it's sad because the Pesh was Marianne was the expert at hitchhiking. She had been half her life in Europe. She'd hitchhiked around Europe. She'd done it in the United States. She was good at it. She didn't want to get in the car. But she had she had 2 roommates, okay? And one went on the trip with her to Berkeley and to Stanford and back to Fresno State. Only one would go with her. And apparently, I'm thinking back, the other one was so close to going that later when she found out what happened to her 2 roommates, she dropped out of college. She came and testified at my trial. And she was devastated by the whole thing. So I'm thinking she almost went. And she realized she might have died too. Who knows? But I don't even know that I'd have picked them up if there's 3 of them. I don't know. I don't know if they'd have been where they were. All the circumstances could have changed. But I'm thinking that because it had such a violent effect on her college education, she was that close to going. The other girl, Anita Lucchesa, wasn't a hitchhiker. She'd been raised by her family, don't do things like that, that's totally out of line, and her friend talked her into it. And once she got into it, and she saw how much fun it was, and they meet the different people, and they talk with people.
Yeah, I don't believe his excuse, GSD, and we got this mad scalper who's been trolling, waiting to come in and make a little comment. Yeah, that's not what I was saying. You misunderstood what I was saying. Okay? I think he's lying. He did the same thing to his mom because he's a sick person. It had nothing to do with, he's angry at his mom, so these other people were proxies to fill in for his mom. He was sexually assaulting, heads of people, okay? That doesn't mean, it's not like a proxy for the mom. You wouldn't need to be doing that, okay? That's not like, you guys, it's just crazy sometimes. Don't seem to get it. I'm going to get rid of this mad scalper person who's never here and just had to jump in and say, you were right on the money.
Right? It's all about who gets the front seat and who gets the back seat.
Another troll.
She opened the door and asked where I was headed. And it says Stanford right on the sign they were holding up. And I said, I'm going to Palo Alto.
Yeah, that's when he was arrested.
I can drop you off. Oh, great. And she jumps in, grabs her stuff, jumps in, opens the back seat up for her friend, who's standing there.
We got Troll Central tonight. Troll Central.
About whether or not, because I could tell at the time, she knows better than to get in. Single adult.
Yeah, it's at Kemper.
It's a coupe instead of a 4-door car, so she cannot get out other than through the front seat. So that's all the warning signs of not getting in with a single, in that kind of a situation. All of the things were wrong about it. But when I drove up, I pulled that little stunt of looking at my watch. Do I have time to pick them up? And you wouldn't believe how much effect that kind of thing has. And when she kept staring at me and looking for something wrong in my eyes, I gave this look back like, I don't understand. Why are you looking at me like this? I gave her that back, and she says, this guy's a dork. He's innocent as hell. She gets in. Okay, we're driving along, and I'm looking at this young lady in the rearview mirror. And I look back at it years later, and I'm saying, she kept looking me back, too, right in the eyeballs. I'm wearing dark glasses, but they're not totally dark. And I'm realizing now that she could see me looking at her, and she was looking right back at me.
I don't know what the deal is with these people that show
up. What are you looking at?
Like High Mountain Traders is probably another troll, too.
She just kept looking back at me.
Showing up, doesn't comment ever, except when there's a moment of opportunity.
It's not really teasing, so to speak. It's just this little psychological game back and forth that men and women do sometimes. The young girl in the front, Anita, was
yep.
At one.
Yeah, I know he killed it. Yeah, Jesus.
Because at first I was hoping
we know Blair Fairchild. I just want to. I shouldn't have played this. Anyway, I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna get out of here. We'll just do the show tomorrow, and whatever it is what it is. You guys can go look it up, know everything about it if you want to, and we'll do the show. It'll just be like, yeah, let me tell you this part. God. So frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of facts everybody can say, you know, and a lot of them were just put out there. You know, nothing in that interview right there were going to be the facts. So, yes, as they just typed in, Blaze typed in up there, yes, he killed his grandparents too. So you're going to blame that on the mom? Or is he just a psycho? Right, that's what I thought. Now you guys can talk about whatever you want. I'm just going to do I'm going to probably just turn off the chat. Hide it somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, I don't buy any of the crap about, oh, I do it because I don't like my mommy. No, you probably hated your mom, but that's not why you were... Maybe your mom was acting towards you a certain way because you're a psycho, you know? And she could see it. You probably, you know, he admits that he killed animals and shit, so... you know, it has nothing to do with that. Why did he kill his grandparents first? Then he goes later and he kills his, you know, it's just... And he turns into a serial killer. Has nothing to do with his mom. No, hey, dipshit mountain trader. I'm doing lives. I explain exactly what I do. I want to do a show where people aren't jumping ahead, okay, jackass? So go do something else, okay? God, just such morons that show up. Every time there's a Saturday, you get the morons that show up. I've explained it 100,000 times. That's probably why I shouldn't even have played that little teaser video, because people just can't control themselves. It's just, it's mind-boggling. Yeah. Anyways. That's going to be it for me tonight, you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We did get over the 3-hour mark there. Yeah, I don't mind people talking about the case, but like what we're talking about now. If not, why not just start your own channel and go over the same case? You know, then you can get through the whole thing. And yeah. And the thing is, I haven't read all the way through the articles either, because I like to have it be interesting to me too. Now what I need to do is put this one in there, like this one. If it plays.
You know, that's just one step above stupid. Did you hear what I said?
That one. Alright, so we got thank you to Emily Flotilla, IB Me, Marine Co, JSD, Kathy Freidenmaker, Jillian Pearson, Jessica Schubach, again right now too, Jen B, Kimberly Hennessy, Lee D, Michelle Nicholas, and by the way, Emily Flotilla was first, and that was a cat eye donation. Jillian Pearson, Jessica Schubach, Jen B, Kimberly Hennessy, Lee D, Michelle Nicholas, Emily Flotilla, Mad Phoenix, Jen B, Kathy Freidenmaker, Nicole Wilson, Rhea Mazzarone, Kit Kat, Jen H, Emily Flotilla, Brandy Bradford, Kit Kat, Living It, Diamond Painting with Anxiety, Kelly B, Nicole Wilson, and Quietly Frozen. Right there. Thank you guys. And yes, I don't know. What do you guys think? let me do a poll. Maybe I can get an actual. Maybe I shouldn't. I guess whatever this poll answer is, maybe we'll go with that. And I just won't care anymore. And you guys can do the conversations back and forth about what they're saying and then miss what I'm talking about because it's like, wow, that's so interesting. Can't see that one. That's true, Brian. You got that one right. And you must be one. And how about this, moron? Try to spell my name correctly every once in a while. Yeah. It'd be pretty cool if you could actually spell a name right. And then maybe somebody would listen to you. Oh well. Thanks, TTJO Tracy. Alright, so 75% say that let me end the poll here really quick. Yeah, I don't care if people disagree with what I'm saying. I'm telling you though that that's how I want to do the show, where people aren't typing in all the stuff. So out of the 58 votes, I don't know, probably 30 something said yes to should I care if people jump ahead in the story. You know, the thing is I can always tell the story exactly the same and not worry about, you know, you guys being like getting spoilers, you know. And that'd be up to you guys to be like, hey, you know, let them tell, you know, whatever. I don't know. Because people they can't do it. It's like crack. They want to let everybody know how much they know about a case while you're going over it. Oh yeah, I've looked at this one 100 times. And they want to tell you every single thing. And then it's kind of like, well, why am I doing this? Right? So that's what makes it, that's why people do those kind of things. They want to let everybody know how much they know, and they gotta do it. They can't do it, you know. So they just have to say it. And it's weird. I mean, maybe it's just sort of natural because we're going over it, and if you have some prior knowledge, you're just going to say something. Well, I like people chatting, you know, so it's one of those things maybe there's a middle ground somewhere, I don't know. Yeah. I just wanted you guys to go over there and get them over 1,000. That's it. That's all. I mean, it's got some funny stuff on there. But. Well, thanks, Cammy Curry. No, because disclaimers don't work either. They're sitting there. It's just better not to do it, you know? It's like... But, you know, I mean, I guess, you know, I want people chatting, but it'd be cool if it was about what we're talking about. Like right now, the case. I mean, I don't know how many times we've gone over this exact same thing. It's like a broken record. That's a pretty funny image you sent there, Nicole. But yes, this is a Saturday night for the Delphi trolls. They're like, oh, he's not doing Delphi, so they show up again. Yeah, all those things are weird, you know? Like when you're covering a case and people are talking about just random shit, you know? Just, oh man, you know, I'm right in the middle of, Yes, and he stabbed her 27 times, and he actually dismembered her body. You know, today I bought a taco, and God, they put this extra cheese on it, and it was absolutely, it was mind-boggling. And I had to bring it back. You should have seen the look on the person's face in there. You know, when you get that kind of stuff, it's a little bit frustrating. And nobody cared about the taco, yet it was brought up. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, those Great Value cheese puffs. Yeah, it was pretty close. Ducking felonies is right on the edge of the, I could have extended it out, but it was right on the edge of the farthest zone. So that means last night when we were going over it, he was way further in, probably right in the middle of that thing. Yeah. All right, guys. That's it. All right. Thank you for all the support for the channel. I appreciate it. If we can just get through a show without the spoiler alerts, that'd be great too. But I know it's difficult. All right. So I guess I guess what I could say, if you have to do it, you have to do it. But just realize that other people don't appreciate it. Okay. So how about that, everybody? Just let it go. Let people type in their little spoiler alerts. But just know when they're typing it in, when you're doing that, nobody's appreciating it. Okay? Well, cool, Stephanie. I'm just doing going over random cases here and there, but we're doing serial killer Sundays, so. No, I want people to be talking and chatting. So that's the thing. That's where it's hard. It's like, I want people to be chatting. You know, when it's not moving, I'm wondering if anybody's listening. Right? But let's just give it a shot. Let's not... The next show, maybe I'll just try not to care that much. I'll try to read as little as possible of the chat, and it's up to you guys to say, hey, no spoiler alerts, whatever you want to do. But don't even delete the spoiler alert. Just leave it there. Okay. See how it works. I don't prefer any of that crap. See, there's times in the show where we stop and we joke around about whatever. It's just weird. I mean, imagine if you were a comedian, for example, and you're up there giving your jokes, and the people in the front row are talking about a movie they watched last night. Well, it might make the comedian think they either suck or those are really rude people. So there's not a good outcome from it. Well, what I made sure to do, Wikipedia has a pretty good thing on them, so I'm going to go through all the newspaper articles, and then I don't think I'm going to go, I don't know, I might look at the trial or something. I don't know. I was going to try to make it a one-parter, but it's pretty extensive. It was kind of neat to be able to go back and find even the 1960 stuff with his grandparents in the paper. It was interesting. Yep. Yeah, it's not cool, but I guess maybe, you know, for the people it's like crack, it's hard for them not to do it, so, you know, and the title's going to say Ed Kemper, and then all the Ed Kemper, you know, experts are going to coming out, and they're going to all need to say everything that they've learned over the years, and that's just the way it is. Yeah, I always think it's really interesting. It's kind of interesting reading, and again, in this case, it's another one of those ones where you know, you just have some missing people, and you know, I don't know where they are, and then they start sort of putting things together, like, wow, look at this, these are similar, and you know, really sad cases too, where these, you know, yeah, they really tried really hard to get people to quit hitchhiking. There's a big push in the paper. I didn't save any of those because they're kind of boring to read, but you know, they really right around the same time they were having these newspaper article after article of how to you know, just to quit hitchhiking, because there was actually 2 serial killers working the same area at the same time. So man, that must have been a freaking nightmare. Right, JSD? You got it? I know it's going to be hard for you, but you can still chat with everybody. Just try to be, you know, if you can, try to chat about what they're chatting about. And yes, I wasn't talking about well, never mind. We already talked about it. I absolutely do not believe that all of his victims were surrogates for his mom. That's just sort of the serial killer excuse, you know. And it's weird too, because there was one time where apparently it's not in one of the articles. Well, no, it is. I think it is anyway. So I won't say that one. No, you can't. Yeah. It's all crap. He's just a psycho. Mm-hmm. There was another video of him. He looks way younger. I think it's right around the time. Let me just show you what that looked like. I think it's 1984 video. This one. So this is only 6 years later. So he has a completely different.
I'm an American.
Well, that's.
And I went off the deep end.
Ed Kemper has been serving a life.
Yeah, not that one. I think it's 81. Oh, there it is. No, that's the same one, right?
I'm an American.
Or maybe it's this 1984 one.
Well, I'm not an expert.
Yeah, that's the 84 one. He looks a lot younger than that.
I'm someone who has been a murderer for almost 20 years.
Can you say how many people might be doing crimes like you were doing?
It would be a guess, but it's not. It's far more than 35. It isn't that impossible in this society.
God, look at him.
It happens.
You look at him as a serial killer? It's
They
crazy.
didn't give up.
How many?
She didn't give up. I did. I came in out of the cold.
Oh,
And what
wow.
I'm saying is
Are
there
you
are some
reading?
people who prefer it in the
He's
cold.
trying to make himself sound like he came out of the darkness, you know. You know, he was a killer, but he's coming out. Yeah, but the other ones, they're still doing it, so I'm better than they are. No, you're not. You're not better. You're a psycho, okay? Yeah, it's weird, because that one was 84, but the first one was 81, and he looked older in that one. So I don't know, maybe he got a haircut and shit. But. All right, everybody, thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. And a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... There it is. I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grillo's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
Controlling my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. It's not a trick, petrol is bait. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Staying in my groove, when there's a troll on the move. This takes a second to remove, cause every time I conclude, the troll is gonna lose. Nice try, little eye. See you creeping on the side. Why you think it's supply? Whiny cry, cry, battle me, you're gonna fry. Gonna send you out to mummify. When I'm in the mood, I sprinkle troll on my food, but I don't eat it. Chew it up and spit it out and beat it. It's not a treat, but troll is beat. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Get in my groove. When there's a troll on the move, this takes a second to remove, cause every time I conclude, troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye. I see you creeping on the sly. Why you think you'll so fly? Without nobody. Someone's beating down on my baseball hat. Air was getting hot, beer was getting flat. Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy. His name was MCA. I said howdy, he said hi. Told a little story, it sounded well rehearsed. Porters in that running that he's dying of thirst. Who was on my hand, he was on my tip. Voices always rose right, yells me for a sip. Taking a good son, I take a good none. Then I just run, pull the shotgun. Pick on the draw, thought I'd be dead. Put that gun to my head and this is what he said. You don't ever hear out, lots of good kill. Hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. What do we have here? Outlaws, beer. Runners, landing winners, then I'll make myself clear. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher. Easy crimes gonna like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Rio's gonna give another lecture. Everybody cool, alright, thank you for all the spoilers, yay, thank you!
Well, they weren't all putting in spoilers, and, maybe they throw out some spoilers if they feel like it, right?
It's not very nice, Gray, you put all that work in putting the story together, and they jump way ahead.
Well, I know, but they don't think like that. They just want to let everybody know how much they know about the case, you get it?
Well, that's true, cool.
Alright, you guys, we will see you guys tomorrow, and yes, Serial Killer Sunday, Edmund Kemper. Alright. And his full name is, where the hell is that thing? Full name is Edmund Emil Guy Kemper II. A guy is like his, nickname, I guess. Guy Kemper, So there you go. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, be safe out there.